Hello YouTube, Infinite Magic Ray community, Gandalf here. Today we're going to showcase how difficult it is to break through Muron Jing defenses. Gonna talk a little bit about the math behind it, maybe strategy around how you can get through these defenses and how you should be thinking about, fighting Muron Jing teams. What are potentially weaknesses you can exploit, and let's get right into the video. Before we do that though, my code is active. So when you go to your AppCoins Wallet, go to rewards, click on the promo code, type in Gandalf5 to activate that sweet 5% extra. And when you use my code to make any in-game purchases between right now and end of the day, September 5th, on September 6th, I will do a live draw of all the people that have made a purchase. Every transaction count as one draw. And just to confirm, right, every single purchase that you make that is using my code, where there's actually a purchase, for example, like any of these, right, like you should be able to see order ID, and the order ID and tax ID is what the transaction ID. These are IDs I can actually see. So there's no way someone will, be able to pretend it's you and claim your reward. You will only be able to see the full ID. I will disclose the first few, and then we'll do a matching afterwards to make sure that you are the right person. So there's nobody who can just send me a fake number, because I won't actually reveal the front. The front is unique enough. This is actually a really, really long code. So we are safe in terms of making sure when I draw your transaction, you are going to get that reward. As I mentioned, 250 is our first goal. One giveaway at $100 for the people using AppCoins, $25 for my subs who made a comment in the last 2 months. If we hit the $500 mark within these 5 days, we're going to do 2 giveaways for the $100 and 2 giveaways for the $25. All right, let's get into the main content of the video. And by the way, for the people who message me because you're struggling to get it set up, and because you are a big Mac fan and you only use Apple products, give Nox Player a try, or BlueStacks. I did some research. Seems like those are the two most popular ones that people can make it work on their Mac. So you're not out of luck. Try to get an emulator, Android emulator on your Mac, and you will be able to take advantage of this discount. And you can still play all of your games on the Mac, on the phone. Just when you're making payments in the game, you're saving the tax, you're getting extra credit back. You can just log on through the emulator to make your payments, and it's completely safe. All right, to find some people that actually have E3 Muron Jing, I spotted Chronix, another content creator, and we see he's already got his E3 right there. Yesterday, it looks like he changed his defense a little bit. Yesterday, I was able to blast through. Let's see how we do today, because today he's added an extra surtar into it. Yesterday, I think it was like just a panda. Let's see how we do. And just to explain how this all works, right? There isn't really a turn order. The moment you knock anything below 60% HP, you instantaneously get that 45 damage reduction from Muron Jing. We're gonna play this in slow motion for Jingle Bell's a big nuke. Just so that you can see it. We're stripping away. Hopefully we got some immortalities removed, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Let's see, we're getting our buffs stolen already, which is really annoying. Jingle Bell and red buff. Okay, this is a big moment. Let's see how much damage can we knock anybody below 60%. Because as long as if we can knock anyone below 60%, we can trigger it. And as you can see, we triggered it. 1. Oh. Not quite. But because we're able to turn meter reduce, I think, and it's not in the bag, because Eratos got the damage reduction so much that we're not able to punch through, which is going to be a real problem, because next turn, we're going to see, the Eratos is not dead. And I think that eratos is going to completely destroy me. This is looking really bad. And the erato goes, and oh, we're okay. We're okay. I think maybe it was either because there was imprison. I think it was because of imprison. The counterattacks didn't happen. But I thought that was strange why the counterattack didn't happen. Maybe it was because there was imprison on the eratos. But either way, right? Like yeah, that's not looking good. And the debuffs are still there. It's looking pretty grim, but we still managed to get through. Let's see if Zero Boosted has no, doesn't have it yet. But let's go back to Chronix team. Let's see if there's a much more secure way. I feel like one of the problems when you don't have a team, like what he had yesterday was he had a Beatrix on there, which means I can't forego a Popper. But if they're running a pure defensive team like this, like there's no other way to tank any more than this. I don't think. I mean, you can try nordacking here. I don't think as it's you're gonna get the same effect as surtar. You could try nordak. In my mind, I think this is just straight up better. Okay. Now we got an extra buff from Beatrix as well now. Let's do bunny up. And I feel like this is going to do so much more damage than the popper setup that we should get a nice clean kill. All right. So what's the moral of the story? Why is it still working? Why can't Muron Jing stop, you know, the strongest burst in the game? Well, as I explained before, is it all comes down to how much skill damage you can output, because there's only it's really a subtraction scale. The closer you're to that 0 mark, the more efficient you're going to be. So think about it like a curve, right? If you have 0 skill damage boost on your team, Muron Jing easily slash your damage down to that minus 75% range, which means you're doing like a quarter of the damage output. However, if you have a massive amount of skill damage boost on your team already, while you're getting diminishing return for additional skill damage, you actually benefit in the sense that Muron Jing is not going to impact you as much. Hopefully that makes sense. The way I think to think about it is we go back to that team match. For a player that doesn't have a lot of skill damage boost on the equipment or in the blessings, is going to see a way bigger jumping damage when you use your Lydia skill 2, when you use Beatrix on your team. You will see your damage multiplying go up way more. But vice versa, because I have added a lot of skill damage, I have more room for my enemy to deduct. So that means they're also not going to see as big of an impact in terms of their damage reduction. So let's look at how my Eratos is built here. So Eratos here on the blessing, you already see about 27% skill damage. That's 27%, right? And then you add in the 2 sets of devouring. So 20, I think what were we at? Sorry, 26 plus 36, right? So 27. 27 plus 36, we're at 63 already. Then let's add in the echo. Are there any skill damage from this? No, this just only increases mastery. So the mastery will be offset by Wukong. But when we look at her aura, with a full versatility aura, I am going to get 18% here because I'm full HP or close to full HP. We can pretty much count that as 45% additional. So 45, right? 45 plus my 63. Let's just round it down to 110, right? 110. Let's keep adding. My Beatrix over here, over there, added skill damage wise. That's the dot damage. So this dot damage will this 45% will offset the attack the dot damage and direct damage reduction from Muron Jing's skill 2. But over here, when we use piercing drum, we get we increase piercing and effective hit. Do we get any other buffs from here? Well, 1.5 times original for every 50%. Okay, effective hit. Increase all skill damage by another 45%. Okay, so I have both roaring drums and the sticks on at that time, so that's another 45. So we're at 165. Oh, sorry, 155. And finally, we have Lydia adding us another 30%. So that's 185. So 185 on top of the base. So with Muron Jing taking out around 80 of that, right? That effectively only reduced the damage output of my jingle bell by about a third, roughly, versus not having Muron Jing. So that's why when it comes to Krakens clashing against Krakens, the strongest shield versus the strongest sword, the sword still wins. All right, so hopefully that helps in terms of helping you think about, what to build. Now, I don't know if Chronics actually have max aura. What's interesting is to think about these, max echo. So here, this is when it's over. This is reduces all damage taken. So this is a pure damage reduction. This is outside of everything. So that's why this echo is so strong. Likewise, same with Surtar. His echo, this is just reduce all damage taken. This is a pure damage reduction. This stacks on top of this. This is this stacks on top of in your talent. If you notice, there's a talent for defensive tree where this is damage resistance. So this adds up to that. The only things that can go against that to offset it is actually skill mastery and combat vanguard. So if we look at, for example, Bunny's echo here, skill master, gain damage surge, increasing damage for 27%, right? And looking at combat vanguard, which we have on Lydia, combat vanguard is 36%. So effectively, these pure damage reductions are actually offsetting this particular metric, right? So all damage taken. So this is kind of, the 36% is kind of getting offset by Wukong and Surtar, their debuff. But overall, from what I've seen so far is, yeah, we're able to burst through. But it was tough, right? Like you saw, there was still a lot of HP left. And Muron Jing did provide a nice heal right in the middle there. We'll see that one more time because I think a lot of people might not notice when that happened. So this time around, we're going to play it super slow on that particular hit and see if at what second do we actually see that big 200% heal actually happens. Just try again here, really carefully. Boom. And of course, Beatrix's echo also increases damage. Don't forget about that one. Okay. We're going to do this really slow. We're going to look for a green number on the opposing side screen. And if you want, you can slow down your YouTube video and just to look for that number. And you will notice, like, see, right in there. The moment they get hit below that, they will heal, right? But because there is that final big hit from Jingle Bell, and you can see, they're still surviving it. Okay, so therefore, this is kind of the strong shield. If he had a little bit more stats, I really do feel like it could potentially survive. So we will know next week when more of the bigger Krakens are available. I will go on to Band's account to test what it's like in the Ultimate Division, and stay tuned for that. But overall, like in terms of Muron, don't let this be scared off. Muron Jing, for a lot of players, like people in my guild, have shared that with Muron Jing, they cleared all of dungeons now. Like easily, all the stages to 40 easily with now Muron Jing on their team, right? So Muron Jing definitely is a big game changer for many, and this is one team. If you put all of your best heroes onto that one single team, rest of your team is going to be really weak. So Muron Jing just could completely stand up a team on his own. So with that, I'll end this video, and please use my code. I'll catch you in the next one. Gandalf out.